Good morning, children. Today we are going to see Civics chapter 3. Why do we need a parliament? Okay. See, children, in this chapter we are going to see about India's parliament. Actually, India's central legislature or union legislature is known as the parliament. Okay. So, here you should not get confused. Central legislature or union legislature are same. Central government, it denotes central government only. Okay. So, it is the highest lawmaking body in the country. Actually, our parliament consists of President of India and two houses, namely the Lok Sabha, actually House of the People, and the Rajya Sabha is known as Council of States, right? Then the members of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are called members of parliament. We used to tell them MPs, right? So the parliament holds its sessions, it means meetings at Parliament House. It is known as Sansad Bhavan in New Delhi. Okay, why I told you no? This is the brief introduction of Parliament. We will read about in detailed manner. But before going to enter into this chapter, let us discuss why should people decide. Okay, see children, India as we know became independent on 15th August 1947, right? Actually, this was a long and difficult struggle in which many sections of society participated. Within a single day, India didn't get independence, isn't it? Yes, after a long struggle, only India got independence. In this freedom struggle, people from various backgrounds joined the struggle and they were inspired by the ideas of freedom, equality, and participation in decision making. You know, children, under colonial rule, under British rule, the people had lived in fear of the British government. You know, whatever the bill passed by the British, the people should accept, otherwise, they would have punished severely. So, even if they don't even if they don't want to agree, but they were forced to agree the law and all, so that if they are not accepted, what will happen finally? They will be punished, so that they faced grave danger. Okay, so that they avoided to criticize these decisions. But the freedom movement changed this situation. The nationalists, the people of the movement or the leaders of the national movement began to openly criticize the British government and make demands. In fact, as far back as 1885, the Indian National Congress demanded that there be elected members in the legislature with the right to discuss the budget and ask questions. 1885 இந்தியன் நேஷனல் காங்கிரஸ் ஆரம்பித்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் பிரிட்டிஷ் கவர்மெண்ட்டோடைய பில்லுக்கு எகெயின்ஸ்டாக வாய்ஸ் ரைஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. அண்ட் ஆல்சோ தே டிமாண்டட் we need representation for what? To take part in the discussion of the budget and ask questions regarding the budget. So the Government of India Act 1909 allowed for some elected representation. Not fully, some elected representation was allowed in the year 1909, the Act of Government of India Act. So these are the experiences of the people, means the leaders of the Indian national movement. At last they decided, after India got independence, the people of independent India should enjoy freedom. They would be able to take part in governing authority as well as decision making. So in this way, people decided we need a parliament. Got it? So why do you think our national movement supported the idea that all adults should have a right to vote? Because the nationalists, the leaders of the national movement realized the injustice of such a situation and felt that since the lives of the people is affected by the acts of the government, so they have a right to participate in government decision making. Hence, they supported the idea of universal adult franchise, that is, all adults be given the right to vote. Okay. So, the dreams and aspirations, it means wishes of the freedom struggle, were made concrete in the Constitution of Independent India that laid down the principle of universal adult franchise. It means that all adult citizens of the country have the right to vote. Got it? So, இந்த ஃப்ரீடம் மூமெண்ட்டோடைய பேசிக்காக அவங்களுடைய விஷஸ், அவங்களுடைய ட்ரீம் எப்படி அவங்க ஃபுல்ஃபில் பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்னா, த்ரூ கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் அண்ட் லேட் டவுன் த பிரின்சிபல் ஆஃப் யூனிவர்சல் அடல்ட் ஃப்ரான்ச்சைஸ். ஓகே, வயது வந்தவர்களுக்கான ஓட்டு உரிமை, யூனிவர்சல் அடல்ட் ஃப்ரான்ச்சைஸை கொண்டு வந்து அதன் மூலம் அவங்களுடைய ட்ரீம்ஸ், அவங்களோட ஆஸ்பிரேஷனை ஃபுல்ஃபில் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஓகே, now we are going to see about people and their representatives. Okay, see children, we know about democracy, right? What is democracy? Already we have read about this. What is democracy? Democracy is a form of government in which people have the power of governance, right? In democracy, people choose their leaders so that they can exercise power responsibly on their behalf. Yes, in fact, Abraham Lincoln said that democracy is for the people, by the people, and of the people, right? See children, a democracy is the idea of consent, that is, the desire, அவங்களோட wishes, approval means permission and participation of people. So, the basic idea in democracy is that the individual or the citizen is the most important person, and that in principle the government as well as other public institutions need to have the trust of these citizens. Simply we can say a democratic government is created by the decision of the people. So, the citizen or the individual is the basic element of democracy. Okay, the government as well as other public institutions need to have the trust of these citizens. Yes, they should get the trust from the citizens of the country, right? So the government as well as other public institutions need to have the trust of these citizens. மக்களுடைய நம்பிக்கையில அவங்க பெறணும். Okay, okay, how does the individual give approval to the government? In what way? In which way? Through elections, right? So that through the universal adult franchise, whoever attained 18 years or above 18 years can vote. So through their voting through elections, they will give their approval. Got it? So people would elect their representatives to the parliament. Then one group from among these elected representatives forms the government, right? And the parliament, which is made up of all representatives together, controls and guides the government. In this sense, people through their chosen representatives form the government and also control it. So, நம்ம எலெக்ட் பண்ணி அனுப்புகிற ரெப்ரசன்டேட்டிவ்ஸ் டுகெதராக கவர்மெண்ட்டை கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணுறாங்க as well as கைட் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஓகே, now we are going to see about the role of parliament. See children, the Parliament of India is the supreme law making institution. Yes, it has two houses. Already I have told you about these two houses. One is the Lok Sabha and another one is Rajya Sabha. And Lok Sabha is also known as House of the People, even lower house. Then Rajya Sabha is known as Council of States, and also it is known as upper house, right? Then Lok Sabha's total membership is 545, and in that 543 members are elected by the people directly, and the two members are nominated by the president from the Anglo-Indian community. Okay, then in Rajya Sabha there are 233 elected members plus 12 members are nominated by the president. Okay. Then Lok Sabha is presided over by the speaker. Okay. Actually, now who is the speaker of Lok Sabha? Om Birla. Om Birla is the speaker of the Lok Sabha. Okay. Then Rajya Sabha is chaired by the Vice President of India. Who is our Vice President of India? Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, right? So Venkaiah Naidu is the Vice President of India at present, right? So generally, Rajya Sabha is chaired by the Vice President of India. Okay, so Rajya Sabha is known as the upper house, and it is also known as the Council of States. Got it? So its total membership is 245. Then 233 are elected members, then 12 members are appointed by the president. Okay. So what is parliament? The parliament is the voice of the people and represents their needs and interests. Yes. So the parliament in India consists of the president, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, and it is the highest law making body of the country. So what is parliament? The parliament is the voice of the people, Makkalin Kural. The parliament is the voice of the people and represents their needs and interests. அவங்களுடைய தேவைகள் என்ன, அதை எப்படி ஃபுல்ஃபில் பண்ணுறதுங்கிறதுக்கான வாய்ஸ் கொடுக்குற இடம் எது? த பார்லிமெண்ட். ஸோ மக்களின் குரல் ஒலிக்கும் இடம் பார்லிமெண்ட். அதனால் த பார்லிமெண்ட் இன் இந்தியா கன்சிஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த president, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Got it? So the parliament in our system has immense powers. It means it has more powers because it is the representative of the people. In fact, elections to the parliament are held in a similar manner as they are for the state legislature. எப்படி ஸ்டேட்டுக்கான எலெக்ஷன் நடக்குதோ அது மாதிரி தான் central election. So the Lok Sabha is usually elected once every 5 years. So the country is divided into numerous constituencies on the basis of population. So on the basis of population, the country is divided into as many constituencies togudi. Okay, so that the more populous state have more seats in the Lok Sabha. Got it? Every constituency elects one representative to the Lok Sabha. A candidate who contests elections may belong to a political party or be an independent candidate. Okay, non-party candidate. So the candidate who gets the largest number of votes becomes the elected representative of the constituency in the Lok Sabha. So who gets, many of them will contest in that election, but who gets the largest number of votes becomes the elected representative of the constituency in the Lok Sabha. Okay, so all Indian citizens aged 18 years or above can vote in elections to choose their representatives. Yes, voting is done by secret ballot so that only the voter knows which candidate he or she has voted for. Yes, at present EVM, right, electronic voting machine is used in these elections. Especially when did they start to use electronic voting machine? You know, in the year 2004 they introduced EVM, electronic voting machine. So that as per data, the use of EVM in 2004 saved around 1,50,000 trees, which would have been cut to produce about 8,000 tons of paper for printing the ballot paper. see children, ballot paper அந்த வாக்குச்சீட்டுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கள்ல, அது முன்னாடியெல்லாம் எலக்ட்ரானிக் ஓட்டிங் மிஷின் யூஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு முன்னாடியெல்லாம் அந்த வாக்குச்சீட்டு முறைன்னு சொல்லிட்டு பேப்பரில் எல்லா சிம்பிள்ஸும் அந்த பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டிஸ் அதனுடைய சிம்பிள்ஸ் என்னங்கிறது எல்லாம் பிரிண்ட் ஆகி வரும். அதை நம்ம அதில் அவங்க எந்த பார்ட்டிக்கு பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டிக்கு ஓட் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்களோ தே யூஸ் டு டூ. பட் at present electronic voting machine is used in the elections. Okay, so once elected these candidates become members of parliament or MPs, right? These MPs together make up the parliament. Yes, once elections to the parliament have taken place, the parliament needs to perform the following functions. Now we are going to see the main functions of parliament. Okay, so the parliament in India consists of the president, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Yes, already I have told you, right? Then after the Lok Sabha elections, a list is prepared showing how many MPs belong to each political party. Then for a political party to form the government, they must have a majority of elected MPs. Since there are 543 elected, then plus 2 already I have told you nominated by presidents, right? So 543 elected members in Lok Sabha. To have a majority, a party should have at least half of the number. It means 272 members or more. See, after election result வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டி, which political party gets 272 or above 272 seats, they are invited to form a government by the president. So அதுக்கு after election result வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் லிஸ்ட்டை ரெடி பண்ணுவாங்க, எந்தெந்த பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டி எவ்வளோ சீட்ஸ் வாங்கியிருக்காங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ தட் above which political party gets 272 seats or above 272, that political party is asked to form the government by the president. If no party gets a clear majority, two or more parties may together form the government. This type of government is called a coalition government, கூட்டணி ஆட்சி. Right, coalition government na kutani aatchi. The parties other than the ruling parties constitute the opposition. So the parties other than the ruling parties, ruling party தவிர மற்ற parties எல்லாம் என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, opposition party. In that the largest amongst these parties is called the opposition party. இருக்கிற political partiesல யார் அதிகமான சீட்ஸ் வின் பண்ணியிருக்காங்களோ அவங்க தான் அப்போசிஷன் பார்ட்டி, அந்த ஸ்டேட்டஸ் அவங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கிது. பட் ஜென்ரலாக அதர் தேன் ரூலிங் பார்ட்டி, த அதர் பார்ட்டிஸ் ஆர் கான்ஸ்டியூட் as a opposition party. Okay, then one of the most important functions of the Lok Sabha is to select the executive. Actually the executive has a group of persons who work together to implement the laws made by the parliament. So law making organs is parliament, but the who will execute this law, who will enforce this law, executive. Yes, so the executive is a group of persons who work together to implement the laws made by the parliament. The Prime Minister of India is the leader of the ruling party in the Lok Sabha. Okay, who is the leader of the ruling party in the Lok Sabha? The Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister of India is the leader of the ruling party in the Lok Sabha. From the MPs who belong to her party, the Prime Minister selects ministers to work with him to implement decisions. See children, now for example I tell you, last 2019 general election, BJP won nearly 303 seats and with alliance to 353 seats. But 353 MPs can't work as a ministers. Among these MPs, Prime Minister will select some people to make them work with him to implement these laws. Okay. These ministers then take charge of different areas of government functioning like health, education, finance, what is that, home ministry, right, railway, isn't it? So many portfolios are there. Ministers will take care of this each portfolio. Got it? But oftentimes in the recent past, it has been difficult for a single political party to get the majority that is required to form the government. Almost 272 seats they should get. Then only the single party can form the government. But since 1984, no single party has won. But last year, 2019 general election, BJP won full majority seats. So after that, single party again formed the government. Okay. So after that, in case if the political party, single party is not getting majority, obviously what will happen? Coalition government will be formed. So, what is the meaning of coalition? When one party does not get a clear majority, a group of political parties form a coalition and elect a leader who then forms a government. This is called coalition government. Got it? See children, the Rajya Sabha functions primarily as the representative of the states of India in the parliament. Right, because Council of States, it is also known as Council of States, isn't it? Yes. Then in that Rajya Sabha has 245 members, but in that 12 nominated and 233 elected. See, the elected members represent the states and union territories. In fact, more populous states have more members representing them. The members representing a state are elected by the elected members of the state legislative assembly. இது ஒன்றும் இல்லை, ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டேட்லேயும் நம்ம எம்எல்ஏ செலக்ட் பண்ணி ஸ்டேட் அசம்பிளி இருக்குல்ல, அந்த எம்எல்ஏஸால் எலெக்ட் பண்ணி தான் இந்த ராஜ்யசபா எம்பிஸ் ராஜ்யசபாவுக்கு போகிறாங்க. அதை தான் அவங்க சொல்கிறாங்க. See children, I have told you 12 members are nominated by the president, no? That members nominated by the president are distinguished authors, journalists, economists, jurists, scientists, artists, social workers and so on. See, for example, I can tell you Sachin Tendulkar was the Rajya Sabha MP. Then at present, Mary Kom from sports, then Ranjan Gogoi from jurist, then Narendra Jadhav from he's a great economist. Okay, like this, 12 members who are all well versed in their profession, they are all nominated by the president as a MPs of Rajya Sabha. Got it? See children, now let me tell the role of Rajya Sabha in the parliament. See children, the Rajya Sabha functions primarily as the representative of the states of India in the parliament. Yes, already we have seen it. Then the Rajya Sabha can also initiate legislation and a bill is required to pass through the Rajya Sabha in order to become a law. See, ஒரு பில்லு ஒரு லாவாக ஆக்கணும் அப்படின்னா அது ராஜ்யசபாவுடைய அக்செப்டன்ஸ் வேணும். ஸோ இன் ஆர்டர் டு மேக் அ லா, எ பில் ஷுட் பி sanctioned in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so it has an important role of reviewing and altering. If alterations are needed, they will suggest. So the laws initiated by the Lok Sabha. So the laws initiated by the Lok Sabha, எந்த லாவை கொண்டு வரணும்னு லோக் சபா நினைக்கிறாங்களோ அந்த லா should be approved by the Rajya Sabha. Otherwise, it won't be act as a law. So during that time, in case if any alteration needs, Rajya Sabha will give suggestion to alter this bill. Then after that it will be getting approval. So Rajya Sabha has an important role of reviewing altering the laws initiated by the Lok Sabha. Got it? See children, the Lok Sabha has a normal term of 5 years, but it may be dissolved by the president before the end of the term. But Rajya Sabha, actually Rajya Sabha is not dissolved after a fixed term. Actually, it is a permanent body. 1/3 of its members retire every 2 years. New members are then elected to the vacant seats. So each member has a term of 6 years. See children, here you should understand the difference between Lok Sabha members and Rajya Sabha members. Lok Sabha members office tenure is 5 years, but Rajya Sabha MP's tenure is 6 years. Okay, but here Rajya Sabha is a permanent body, but Lok Sabha once in a 5 years it will be dissolved and new elections will be conducted. Sometimes due to law and order it may be dissolved by the president little early also, but generally 5 years once Lok Sabha election will be conducted. Got it? See children, look at your book, page number 37. There are two buildings, right? These two buildings of the Central Secretariat, the South Block and North Block, were built during the 1930s during British. But the left side photo is South Block, which houses the Prime Minister's office, PMO. So Prime Minister's office is in South Block. Then the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of External Affairs also. But in the North Block is the right in this Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay. So the other ministries of the Union government are located in various buildings in New Delhi. Got it? Now we are going to see the second function of the Parliament, to control, guide and inform the government. See children, the Parliament while in session begins with the question hour. Question hour na kelvi neram. The question hour is an important mechanism through which an MP can elicit information about the working of the government. So during this question hour, MPs can can debate regarding their government policies. Okay. See children, this is a very important way through which the Parliament controls the executive. By asking questions, the government is alerted to its shortcomings and also comes to know the opinion of the people through their representatives in the Parliament, that is the MPs. Okay, so the opposition parties play a crucial role in the healthy functioning of the democracy. So don't forget it, the opposition parties play a crucial role in the healthy functioning of the democracy. In fact, they highlight drawbacks in various policies and programs of the government and mobilize popular support for their own policies. Okay. Then the government gets valuable feedback and is kept on its toes by the questions asked by the MPs. So in this way, what is that? Parliament control the executives as well as guide and inform the government. Got it? See children, in this way, the Parliament is a key aspect of the functioning of Indian democracy. Yes, through Parliament, through our people's representatives only, the democracy will be applicable. Yes. The next function of the Parliament is law making. Actually, law making is a significant function of the Parliament. Yes. Then let me tell you about some more points regarding function of the Parliament. Okay. See, controlling the government's finance. Every year the government has to place its budget, annual financial statement before the Parliament. Yes. At present Who is our finance minister? Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, isn't it? Yes. So, the finance minister has to place its budget before the parliament, right? So, the government, the budget shows the government's expected income and planned expenditure. So, yearly income என்ன, expenditure என்ன, in case taxes எல்லாம் போட்டு income எக்ஸஸாக கொண்டு வர முடியுமா, ஸோ வாட் ஆர் த taxes can be implemented, இதெல்லாம் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. தென் பிசைட்ஸ் த பட்ஜெட் த கவர்மெண்ட் இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் எ ஃபினான்ஸ் பில். ஸோ என்ன சொல்கிறது, மசோதா தாக்கல் பண்ணுவாங்க, பண மசோதா, நிதிநிலை அறிக்கை தாக்கல் பண்ணுவாங்க. இஃப் திஸ் ப்ரப்போசல்ஸ் ஃபெயில் டு கெட் த பார்லிமெண்ட்ஸ் அப்ரூவல், த கவர்மெண்ட் ஹேஸ் டு ரிசைன். ஸோ ஹியர் ஆல்சோ கண்ட்ரோலிங் த கவர்மெண்ட்ஸ், the parliament controls the government's finance. Got it? Then keeping the ministers accountable. Actually the ministers who run the government are accountable to the parliament. அவங்க தான் பொறுப்பேற்றுக்கணும் parliament முன்னாடி. So the MPs have the right to debate and criticize government policies and the right to question ministers about the actions of the government. Then approving amendments to the constitution. So the parliament only will give approval to change the constitution laws and all, right? Then approving policies towards other countries. So the treaties and trade agreements with other countries have to be approved by the parliament. Got it? Now we are going to see about who are the people in parliament. See children, the parliament has more and more people from different backgrounds, right? Yes, there has been an increase in political participation from the Dalit and the backward caste and the minorities. So some seats are reserved in the parliament for SCs and STs. Yes, reservation is there. And it has recently been suggested that there should be reservation of seats for women. Yes, 33% reservation seats for women. Still debate is going on, right? See children, 60 years ago only 4% of MPs were women, and today it is just about 9%. So this is a small share when you consider the fact that half the population are women, right? See, sometimes unresolved situations are coming, right? Unresolved means situations in which there are no easy solutions to problems. Somehow we are also facing some unresolved problems and all, right? Let's recall what we have studied so far. Okay, see, first question, let me ask you, name the national parties of India. I didn't tell you, but you try. Name the national parties of India. Bharatiya Janata Party, right? Then Indian National Congress Party, then Bahujan Samaj Party, BSP. It is in Bihar. Okay, then Communist Party of India, CPM and CPI. These are the national parties. Even Janata Dal, Samajwadi Party, these are the national parties. Okay, so now let me tell you about state parties. Okay, see, we can take 4 or 5 examples. For example, if we take in Tamil Nadu, what are our state parties? ADMK, right? All India Anna Dravida Munetta Kalagam, ADMK. Then DMK, isn't it? Yes. Then in neighboring state, Telangana, if you take, there is TDP, Telugu Desam Party. And in fact, what is that? Andhra, if you take YSR Congress, right? Then Maharashtra, if you take Shiv Sena, right? Then Bihar, if you take Rashtriya Janata Dal. Then Odisha, Biju Janata Dal. These are the some examples of state parties. Okay, see, what are the difference between national parties and state parties? Let me tell you. See, these national parties can contest elections held all over India. State parties can contest only elections held in particular states. Yes. See, ADMK and DMK, when they will contest, if the Tamil Nadu is going to face election, then only they will contest. Otherwise, they won't contest in case, see, coming October end, Bihar is going to face state election. There won't be ADMK and DMK, right? Their state party only will contest. Like that, this is the major difference between the national parties and the state parties. But if the coalition government forms, state parties will be included. Got it? See, what is the advantage of the use of electronic voting machines, EVMs? Of course, cutting of trees has been stopped, right? Okay. Name the two houses of the parliament. What are the two houses of the parliament? The Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, right? Okay. What is the term or tenure of the Lok Sabha? The tenure of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. Got it? Okay. What makes the Indian Parliament powerful? Actually, it is the representative of the people, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Who is the leader of the ruling party in the Lok Sabha? Children, the Prime Minister is the leader of the ruling party in the Lok Sabha, right? Okay, actually we have discussed about the two blocks and south blocks and north blocks building, right? Okay, name the ministries which are housed in the north block. The Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Home Affairs, right? Okay. Who nominates the 12 members of the Rajya Sabha? See children, total members of the Rajya Sabha is, total strength of the Rajya Sabha is 245, right? In that 12 members are nominated by the President. So, the President of India nominates the 12 members of the Rajya Sabha. Isn't it? Yes. Okay, how is the question are an important mechanism? Actually, question hour is in the while Parliament session is going on, right? So it is through this mechanism that MPs can elicit. Elicit means bring out. Here, bring out. Okay. So it is through this mechanism. MPs, member of Parliament, these MPs can elicit information, bring out information about the working of the government, how it is functioning, what are the policies, how they are going to implement. These are the information they used to bring out from the executives. Okay. Then what has been done to give adequate representation, அதாவது போதுமான representation to the communities that have been historically marginalized. It means reservation. Some seats are reserved in the parliament for people belonging to SC and ST category. Okay, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes category. So for them, reservation is there in the parliament. Got it? So children, what is universal adult franchise? Universal adult franchise means all adult citizens of the country enjoy the right to vote. At present, whoever attains 18 years or 18 years above can vote, right? Okay. What is the meaning of coalition? When one party does not get a clear majority, a group of political parties form a coalition and elect a leader who then forms a government. This is called coalition government. Okay. Okay children, now we will see comparison between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay. So the Lok Sabha is a directly elected body, but the Rajya Sabha is an indirectly elected body, right? Then the Lok Sabha can pass a vote of no confidence against the ministers, but the Rajya Sabha cannot. Then the Lok Sabha can be dissolved, but the Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved because the Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. Got it? And the tenure of Lok Sabha is 5 years, but the Rajya Sabha MPs tenure is 6 years. Okay, 2 years once, one third members will be getting retired, new members will be elected. Okay, then children, the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha is whom? Speaker, right? Then I told you at present who is the speaker of our Lok Sabha? Om Birla, right? Then okay, who presides the Rajya Sabha? Vice President of India. At present, who is the Vice President of India? Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. Got it? Okay, children. Okay, children. Now we have come to the end of this chapter. I hope you all understood this chapter clearly. Then I will send the classwork in the form of PDF. Okay? You copy it in your classwork and read it well. Thank you.